Have you ever prayed with all your heart and felt nothing? No answer, no sign, just empty silence. In those moments, it's easy to think, maybe God forgot about me. But what if He didn't forget you? What if He was closer than you ever imagined and you just couldn't see it yet? This is the story of a boy named Eli, a boy who felt completely alone, and what he discovered in the most unexpected way will stay with you long after this video ends. That winter was the hardest of Eli's life. His mother fell sick. The medicine was expensive. No matter how many extra hours Eli worked, no matter how many boots he polished or crates he carried, it was never enough. He felt helpless, exhausted, invisible. One freezing night, unable to sleep, Eli walked to the old chapel at the edge of town. He hadn't been there since his father died. He pushed open the heavy wooden door and stepped inside. No candles, no warmth, just cold stone walls and deep silence. He sat in the very last row, hunched over, elbows on his knees, and stared at the floor. Then, in a voice barely louder than a breath, he said, "I don't even know if you're listening. I'm not asking for much. Please don't take her too." Nothing happened. No voice, no light from above. The chapel stayed dark and completely still. Eli walked home through the cold with his hands buried in his pockets. He felt more alone than ever before, but his feet kept moving. One step, then another, then another. He didn't know it yet, but that stubborn, quiet act of moving forward, that was already an answer. The very next morning, Eli found an envelope slipped under their door. Inside was enough money to cover 2 full months of his mother's medicine. No name, no note, nothing. Eli asked every person he knew, every neighbor, every shop owner, every dock worker. Nobody admitted to leaving it. A few days later, old Mr. Fenwick, the harbor master who had barely ever spoken to Eli, stopped him on the street. The old man was rough and quiet by nature, not the type to show kindness easily. He cleared his throat and said gruffly, "I need someone to clean my storage room, once a week. 20 coins. He pushed the money firmly into Eli's hand and walked away before Eli could even say thank you. Then the baker's wife began leaving fresh bread outside their door every single morning. It would just go to waste, she always said with a shrug. But Eli noticed she baked extra every day without fail. None of these people made a big show of it. None of them asked for anything in return. They just appeared, quietly, exactly when they were needed most. And slowly, very slowly, the heavy weight on Eli's chest began to lift. By spring, his mother was recovering. One warm evening, she took Eli's hand and walked with him down to the shore. They sat together on the sand, watching the lighthouse beam sweep slowly and steadily across the dark water, the same way it had for as long as anyone could remember. "Eli," his mother said gently, "do you know how the lighthouse still works now that your father is gone?" "It runs on its own," Eli said quietly. "No one is inside, it just keeps going." She nodded slowly. "But the light still turns, and ships still find their way home." Eli stared at that turning beam for a long, long time. He thought about the envelope with no name, about Mr. Fenwick's rough hands pressing coins into his, about warm bread left before sunrise, about his own 2 feet that kept walking even on the nights when his heart had almost stopped trying. No thunder, no miracle, no voice from above, just small, quiet moments, one after another, that had held him up when he couldn't hold himself. He turned to his mother, eyes wide with a new kind of understanding. "Mom, God wasn't silent, was he? I just didn't recognize his voice." She squeezed his hand tightly. She didn't need to say a word. Years passed. Eli grew up and became the lighthouse keeper of that same town, just like his father before him. On stormy nights when the wind howled and the waves crashed against the rocks, He would stand at his post and keep the light burning without fail, because he had learned something that no storm would ever be able to take from him. God does not always stop the storm, but he never leaves you alone inside it. Sometimes his presence comes as a stranger's quiet kindness, sometimes as an unexpected door that opens just when you need it most, and sometimes it comes as the small, stubborn strength inside your own chest that keeps your feet moving even when everything in you wants to stop. Silence is not absence. The lighthouse keeps turning, even when no hand is visible. And so does God. If you are in the middle of a storm right now, I want you to hear this. Look around you, not for a loud miracle, for the quiet signs, the person who showed up when you least expected it, the door that opened just in time, the strength that somehow kept you going, even when you had nothing left. That is not luck. That is not a coincidence. That is God, who never stopped watching over you, even when the silence felt unbearable. If this story touched your heart, please share it with one person who needs to hear it today. It might be exactly what they need. And subscribe, because every week we bring you stories that remind you of one simple truth: the light never stops turning, and neither should you.